Hey, and welcome back to a Fresh Perspective on Business podcast. I'm Laura Leyland, Managing Director of Fresh Perspective Resourcing, which is a recruitment business with a twist on the traditional. And here today, and my co-host extraordinaire is the one, the only, Vicky Taylor.
Hello, Laura Leyland.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to be here.
It is. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it because you've not been very well recently.
No, the lurgy got me. So apologies if you hear some background coughing. I will try and turn away from the microphone if I need to cough. But yeah, it's been a long illness. I feel like normally when I get ill, it's like 2 or 3 days, and I'm done.
It kind of built up for a while.
Yeah,
didn't it? We weren't sure.
No, and I thought it was gone, and then bam, it hit me with a vengeance, and yeah, and getting better now. I feel better in myself. Just a slight cough, so apologies.
This is good. And Vicky assures me she feels fine. She just doesn't sound it.
Yes, exactly. I am fine. I'm fine in myself, just a little bit croaky.
She's post-lurg.
Yes. I need to be fine. It's Christmas do tonight.
Christmas party tonight. Yeah. Where we going?
Ribby Barn.
Oh,
obviously we're booked in for like the next 10 years.
Yeah, glad rags at the ready.
Yeah.
Excited. And also, it's Friday the 13th today, which is unlucky for some, but not us because we've got our Christmas party, and not you guys because we've got a cracking piece of advice for you today.
Yes, absolutely. We're turning around that Friday the 13th myth.
Absolutely. It is what you make it. So we thought we'd deliver this these pearls of wisdom to you today, get you ready for when you start to recruit in January. So that you can successfully grow your team easily, positively, and it starts by offering with impact.
Very important part.
Obviously, you need to do the whole recruitment process first.
Yeah, to get to that part.
You know, please listen back to previous podcasts. If you need help with your recruitment process or actually doing the do of your recruitment, give Vicky Taylor a shout on LinkedIn or me on LinkedIn, and we will happily help you. But if you've done that and you know you're ready to rock, you're ready to hire in January, you want to maximise the chances of someone saying not yes to the dress, but yes to the job.
Yeah, you don't want to fall at the final hurdle. Like if you've put all that work in to do your recruitment and then you just let yourself down when it comes to the offer, you will be kicking yourself. Because that's a lot of wasted time if you don't do it correctly.
Absolutely. That's a really good point to make because it takes a lot of time and energy and resources to recruit. It doesn't always go to plan. The candidates that you think are going to be amazing aren't, or people might not show up to your interviews because ghosting is at all-time high at the moment for various reasons. But if you've worked really hard finding the right people and attracting talent that A, can do the job, and B, will fit into your values and culture, and you're really excited, and it's taken weeks of your time, kept you up at night, and you're like, right, I'm dead excited, I'm going to offer someone, and they say no.
It's devastating.
Heartbreaking.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you don't want to have that feeling.
And you'll never ever completely take away the possibility that someone will say no to your offer because you're dealing with people and you don't know what other things they've got going on. But you can minimise the chances of them saying no by doing a proper job.
Yes, there is actually a process and a way to do it, and we're going to share that today.
Yes, we are.
We are. But we nearly forgot. Before we get into it and we share our tips and wisdom with you, as you all know, Laura is part Spanish, really. What is it? Spanish alter ego.
Yes.
She has a Spanish alter ego, so we like to say the episode number in Spanish. So Laura, please will you tell us, this is episode number 224. Okay. Please can you tell us what that is in Spanish, please?
Absolutely. Episodio número 224.
Wowee!
A long one, that. There's a lot. They say a lot. So 224 is 224. It's a lot more language to get your teeth around.
Yeah, what are we going to do when we're up to like 1,000?
Well, that would be 1,224.
Wow, okay. Lovely. Right. We're talking about successfully growing your team by offering with impact, and we're going to share how we do it
and how we would advise to do it if you
Yeah.
need to do it yourselves. If you're working with us, we do it for you.
Mhm.
Usually, unless we do get some cheeky clients going off piece because you get too excited. So it's for all for positive reasons. But if you're doing it yourself, this is how to do it. This is how we do it.
Na, 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 na.
So, Vicky Taylor,
Yes,
does how you offer a job to a candidate really matter?
absolutely. There are ways and means of doing it. Because imagine you've gone through all this interview and you've put your heart and soul into interviewing for these people.
Which you should do.
Yes, you absolutely should do. If you want that job, you should do that. And you're really excited, and then they come to offer you, and you don't feel that excitement back from them.
Or they send you an email.
Don't.
An email!
Imagine! I've been offered a job with an email before, you know.
It's so lackluster. And you're waiting for that email's coming in, and then you're scanning it. You're not reading anything of it. It says you're looking for the words, we are happy to, or unfortunately. And you're like, oh. But even if it's like, dear Vicky, we thank you for your time recently coming in to attend the interview with blah, blah, blah. Boring, by the way. On reflection, we are pleased to share with you that we would like to offer you the position of blah. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Yours sincerely, Karen.
Karen!
Sometimes they don't even put the salary on. And you're like,
oh,
great.
imagine.
Okay, well, thank you, but before I accept, and then what do? Do you ring? How do you structure an email? Like, imagine that thought process. You might have to ask ChatGPT because, like, how to write basically. Well, how much is it? What's the salary? You're gonna have to write an entire email to fluff that out so it doesn't come across as direct.
Well, yeah,
You'd be like, dear Karen, thanks so much for the offer. I really enjoyed the interview process. La 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 la. Please, can you just confirm the offer details such as salary and benefits, working hours, yada yada yada. All the best, Vicky.
it's crazy though, isn't it, that you would offer someone, because we've had clients do it where they will offer people jobs in interviews, which again shouldn't do, and just say, we'd like to offer you the job, no salary, and then we speak to them later on and they're like, oh, they offered me the job, and we're like, so what did they offer you? Don't know.
I know, and they're like, well, did you accept? They're like, well, I'm not sure because I said I'd be really pleased, but I don't know what they've offered. I'm like, mother of God, stop doing this. You only get one chance to deliver an offer for the first time. One chance. You cannot go back and redo that.
No.
And so it's like first impressions count for a lot. And yes, you can overcome negative first impressions, but it takes some work. Like, you've got one chance to do this, right? Like, literally, it should take 2 minutes. You might need to think about it, like, oh, we really like this person. How much do we really like them? What are their salary expectations? Right, 28 grand. So we really want to secure this person. So let's offer them 30 because that's within the range.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. And then you're like, wow, well excited. Ring them.
I know, yeah. But it's so obviously when we do the recruitment, we will ask like what the salary expectations are for this person before sending them over to any clients. I don't know how a company would do that. Would they ask that at the beginning, maybe? Or
What do you mean?
Salary expectations of the candidates.
Yeah, they would probably have to ask that on like a screening call. Well, they should do.
Yes, they should do, because you need to know what this candidate is expecting.
But again,
to
not
be
all
paid.
businesses do. They don't like talking about money. So whoever, I don't know, Sandra in HR might be like, right, she's been tasked, even though she hates recruitment, with filling this vacancy. She's put an ad out on Indeed. She's filtered through the applicants. She's booked in meetings with the directors for interviews. They're like, right, we want to offer this person. But at any point, where would she, if she's done a screening call, maybe she might have said, oh, the salary is this, what you're looking for. But if she's not, and she just passed them through, nobody at this point has talked about money.
No.
Which is might not be the only reason why you want the job, but it's a big part of why we all go to work.
It's still important. Like, salary isn't the be all and end all of a job. There's other things that people want: nice working environment, benefits, good work-life balance, all that kind of stuff. But everyone has a salary that they need to live, and they cannot go below that. So you need to know what these people are wanting, because how the heck are you going to offer at the end if you don't have any idea what they're after? You just...
And I know you might like to think that you've put you may not have, but you've put a salary on your job advert, I don't know, 25 to 30 in this example. You may not have put a salary on your job advert because for some reason a lot of businesses think that they shouldn't do that. But, well, some businesses don't put salaries on their adverts because they don't want their existing workforce to see the salary, which is a red flag. Because like, maybe we need to do a bit of a employee survey review of everything before you start recruiting. If you've got things to hide, that's not a good starting point.
Not at all. Some
people think they don't want the competitors to know. There's other reasons, but they don't put the salary on the advert. So if you've not put your salary on your advert, Sandra in HR has not qualified the candidate in terms of salary expectations. Nobody in the interview has talked about money because I don't believe that's the place for it.
Nope, it's not.
And then you offer, and this person will be like, oh, well, I'm looking for 40 grand. You're like, oh, well, the maximum was 30. Oh, well, you didn't put it on your advert. Or, oh, I missed that. I didn't see that on the advert because people only see what they want to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys. So then you get to the offer stage, and especially if you're sending an email or offering in the interview, like, oh, this is a mess.
Yeah, and that is where you've wasted all your time because you haven't done these little things at the beginning. And then your offer is just wasted.
Yeah, you could have been like organising time with directors from different locations to come and interview this person, and then they've just wasted the journey, wasted the time. Candidates wasting the time, and you have to start again.
Yeah,
and waste more time.
Yeah.
So please don't do it like it's. If you're doing it yourselves or using another partner, you know, recruitment is an investment of time and money, and resources such as Indeed and things like that. You really need to maximise the outcomes of this. You would in any other area of your business, any kind of process. You would make sure it's efficient and it's productive and it's making you money or saving you time and improving efficiencies. Otherwise, what's the point in doing any of it? So you need to, there's a few, so we're going to walk through what's the best way to offer this job, how offering matters, just to make it clear, because we've had a bit of a chat about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through it in a process. But yeah, save your time, maximise the chances of success. Decide at the beginning what the salary is. Please put it on your adverts. If you don't put it in your adverts, please make sure whoever is doing the recruitment does a screening call first with candidates before booking interviews to make sure they're understanding salary, notice period, location, right to work in the UK. I know none of this has got to do with offering, but it's important to know at the beginning, along with the salary. And then off you go. And then blam, 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 blam. Right, we've done your recruitment process. Now we're at the point of offering.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's the first step that you should do after an interview before you make an offer?
Oh, follow up. Follow up with the candidate.
Yeah, so what would you kind of contact them about? Would you do it in an email? Would you ring them?
We would ring them.
Yeah.
To get the initial feedback, how they thought it went.
Which is important.
It is, because they might not like the interview. You have to impress them in the interview as much as they are impressing you.
Yeah.
And you might get to that point and they might come and see you and they might be like, this just isn't for me.
Yeah, and you may have done something or said something in the interview that they didn't like, and you will not know it unless you ask them. And it's probably it's good if possible. It might not always be possible, but if someone else, if I've been in an interview, I would ask Vicky or someone else to follow up and get feedback, because you're more likely to get an honest answer than if it's you. It's like, oh, how did you find the interview? Basically saying, did you think I was an okay interviewer? People aren't necessarily going to be honest. But we had a client recently, possibly aren't going to work with again, and the candidate they offered rejected the offer because they said they talked too negatively about their existing team members.
Yeah, and we pass that feedback on to the client, because obviously they need to know, like, it's obviously not nice to give some constructive feedback all the time, but they do need to know. But would the candidate have given that directly to?
You don't know, do you?
No,
they
you
may
don't
have,
know.
but they may have not bothered to give that feedback because they don't need to at that point.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it for them.
No.
But how did the client respond to that feedback, interestingly?
What did they say? They obviously didn't really agree. that they come across in that way. Yeah, I know. There was like, I could maybe see where some points might have been a little bit negative. But it was quite bad for the candidate to not accept a job offer. If it was just little hints, you might be like, maybe like, because we were going to arrange a follow-up interview for them to maybe discuss what he thought about it.
Oh.
And he said no, the candidate didn't want to.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's up to them if they want to take it on board. But yeah, it's these kind of things. So it's to get their initial feedback. If there's anything you can do to improve your process. Also, to find out if they're actually interested, and there's no point wasting your time any further, because they could be like, actually, do you know what? I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to hearing back on your decision. Yeah, positive. Like, is there any reservations or anything else? Any information you need to know? Have you thought of any questions since the interview? No. Okay, great.
Yeah, and it keeps them engaged as well, doesn't it? Like, they're like, oh, they must like me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't, I don't know, if you went on a date with someone and you knew you wanted to see them again, you probably wouldn't do it straight away because, play the game and all that.
Yeah.
Play hard to get. But you would contact them at some point and had a really nice time.
Yeah, you wouldn't wait like a week
and
just kind of ghost them.
Because then what would happen if you waited a week and didn't get in touch?
Then you think, oh, they don't like me. You'd move on to somebody else.
They just think, she's just not into me. But if you're contacting them, I don't know, the day after or the day after that, saying, I had a really nice time on Saturday. I'd like to do it again. Are you free here? It's the same thing. If you leave it a week, they'll be like, oh, clearly didn't have a good time. And they might move on, and so might your candidate. So it starts with that, just setting the scene. And also, if you really like them and you may have got another interview, you know there's going to be a few days before you can make a decision because you need to catch up with the other interviews, etc. You can say, I can let you know that it did go really well. The directors or whoever's doing the interview really like you there, and their feedback is positive. They've just got some other people to see, and then we'll come back to you here. Give them a date. Make sure you go back to them by that date. But you're setting expectations, you're managing them. They feel valued and important enough that you're keeping them in the loop. They know they've done a good job, that an offer might be coming. Everything is just amazing, positive, exciting. The suspense is killing them. They're on the edge of the seat waiting for you. The worst thing you could do then is send an email.
Oh my God, imagine doing that.
It just...
And I tell you what, with the amount of emails in my inbox, not my work inbox, my personal inbox, it probably just get lost in there anyway.
Oh, what if randomly my emails just decide that something goes into junk? What if they miss it?
I never check my junk, so...
And then if you've emailed them, they've not seen it, or it's gone into junk, and then days pass, they've not heard from you because they've not seen your email. You assume they've seen your email and couldn't give two hoots about your offer. You need to just eradicate all of this.
Exactly, yeah.
And call them.
Yeah.
So that's the best. That's the best way to offer. Verbally.
Yes, with excitement.
Yes. Passion.
Yes.
Enthusiasm.
Absolutely. Don't do it in the interview.
Why not?
It puts people on the spot, and I think people need time to process what's happened.
I agree.
You're nervous in an interview, aren't you? You might have a bit of adrenaline, and you might be sat there and you're doing this interview and you're sweaty and a bit the whole way through it, and then you might calm down a bit, but you still probably have a bit of that adrenaline running through you. And imagine if someone just went to you, we'd like to offer you the job, and you're just deer in headlights.
Even if that's the best news to you ever, your brain will go, ah! Because someone is looking you dead in the eye going, we want to offer you the job, and then he's sitting there waiting to spat on my microphone.
Lovely.
So passionate about this point. They are sat there eyeballing you whilst you decide. There is nowhere to go. You can imagine if you in Dragon's Den when they're like, can I just go and talk to each other, and they go to the back of the room.
Yeah.
Imagine they're like, can I just give me 2 minutes to think about it, and just turn around in the swivel chair.
Yeah.
And thinking about it. It's awkward because you might think, actually, yeah, I really want this job, but you're not sure how to respond because they put you on the spot. And then they say, we'd like to offer you the job. And then you will then have to go, oh, that's amazing news. Thank you so much. What would the salary be? And that's awkward AF. If they say, we want to offer you the job and this is the salary, you'd be like, right, okay. But you might be thinking, that's okay, but I was looking for more. But are you likely to say that while they're staring at you across the desk?
Probably not. And depending on how many of them are sat there as well, there might be like 2 or 3 sat in front of you. And yeah, it's just awkward, isn't it? 'Cause you either say yes, but don't have all the information that you need to say yes, but just because you feel pressured, or you say no.
Yeah, I mean,
but would you say no?
Only if the interview you'd hit, you knew because of what's happened in the interview. Maybe that guy who turned down the offer because them talking negatively about their team. If they'd offered him in the interview, he probably would have said no.
Or he would have said yes when he really meant no, and then when he got back, emailed and be like, sorry, it's a no.
Yeah. Or you're just like, oh, that's amazing. Can I think about it? It's probably the best answer in that situation. That's amazing news. Can you just leave it with me? Let me process everything, and I'll come back to you tomorrow.
Yeah, but the best thing to do is just not put people in that situation.
Don't put people in that situation. And I don't know what an alternative equivalent is. That's
proposing on the first date.
Or asking someone there and then, right, okay, shall we book in a second date? Like, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
So if you've gone on a first date, it's gone well, you're well happy, it's dead exciting, you're like, oh, do we go in for a kiss or a hug when I'm saying bye, thinking about all these things. I'd love to see this person again. You're not going to say that because you don't want to look like you're coming on too strong and you don't want to look desperate. It's like, I've had an amazing time, have a good weekend. But you might not go, do you want to go on a second date? Because then that person's looking at you thinking, oh my God, no, I don't. But I don't want to tell them because it's awkward and just don't do it.
Yeah, just don't do it. Don't put people on the spot. Give them some time because obviously they're going to then walk away from the interview, process everything that's happened, maybe come up with some more questions.
Yeah.
Because it is hard when you're in an interview and you're trying to answer questions and they may be saying stuff and then you go away and think about it and be like, oh, they said this, I'd like to know a bit more about that, or what did they mean when they said that? You don't always think of that straight away, do you, when you're sat there under pressure in an interview? So it's giving people the time to go away, process it, think about it, so they can make an informed decision on whether they do want to accept your job.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't know what's happened previous to this interview. They could have had another interview, could have other offers on the table that they need to consider, and then they might need to, because the idea of going to your interviews is gathering the information, seeing what offers come your way, and then deciding, like comparing and contrasting the offers and the packages and the opportunities. If you've got at least 2, you want as many those offers to come in and like, right, what are the pros and cons of each one? Which one is best for me? Which they aren't going to do that with you in the interview. They need to weigh it up, and they can't do that with you because they can't talk to you about their other offer.
Well, no,
because that would be weird. Well, like a while ago now, when people say, "Oh, sleep," the term like sleeping on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm never like, why do you need to do that? But honestly, I've really noticed over the years that I get the information and then I almost don't think about it actively. I will go to sleep that evening and I wake up the next morning and my gut knows what to do.
Okay.
My gut is like, I feel excited about something and I'm like, this is what I need to do. This is the outcome, because my subconscious has processed everything, aligned my thoughts, maybe been for a run, whatever people need to do that. All of a sudden your gut tells you what is the best option for you, because it's not just linked to words and communication and information, it's linked to emotions as well. And they are non-verbal, really. It's a different part of the brain, and that's where you get your gut feel from. So taking time to process, however you do that, whether it's sleeping on it, going for a run, going to gym, talking with your friends, that's how you organise the information, and then you kind of just know what you want, or you think of other things that you need to know the answers to. So you can't, if by offering someone in the interview, you can't give them the time to do that.
Yes, very good point.
Okay, what else? Oh, what else should they not do? I'm just looking at things. We've kind of ticked everything off that we said we wanted to talk about.
What should they not do? I was going to say what they need to do is re-clarify salary expectations when you're following up with candidates, because obviously things may have changed depending on how long the interview process is. Things may have changed in that period of time.
Yeah, like we said, we could have got more offers.
The personal circumstances could have changed for them. Maybe they've done the sums and they need a bit more money, or maybe they've realised, maybe when they've come to your interviews and you've explained the job more, people might be like, actually, that's like more responsibility than I had at a job that I'm at now, so maybe I do deserve a little bit more money for that. So salary expectations can change, unfortunately, throughout the process. And it's making sure you clarify that at this point, because that's the information that you're going to need to use when you're going in with your offer.
Yeah, absolutely, to make it as impactful as possible. And I suppose that would come when you follow up, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
Just to re-clarify your salary expectations, if they were to offer you 28 grand, how would you feel? What would you say? And this person might say, that would be absolutely amazing, and I would accept immediately. And then you're like, right, okay, we'll get back to you as soon as we've made a decision. You know for damn sure that person's going to accept your offer, which is an amazing feeling. If they say, well, I was looking for 28, but I have had a couple of other offers in that are like 29, 30. This is my preferred option, but I do need to just look at the finances. And so that gives you information then, so you can go, right, how much do we want this person? Obviously not on the phone with them. This is what we offer. There's a high chance they'll accept our offer here, but if we increase it to 30, then that obviously is almost like 100%. They prefer our option if we can match the other offers. So then you're like, actually, do you know what? We really want this person. Let's go in at 30. So you're going at 30, saying we've decided we like you that much. We've decided to offer you more than what we'd originally set aside for this position. And the power of that sentence to a candidate is just amazing. And they'll be like, oh my, they'll just feel so happy and like valued and like good at what they do, and just be so appreciative.
I would love it if someone said that to me.
Oh,
I'd be like, oh, how nice. I'd be like, these people really want me. And especially if you've got like other offers on the table as well. If you've done it in that way to a candidate, and say the other offers are an email or just a lackluster phone call, they'll be like, I want to go for this company because they value me. They really want me to work for them, and they give me a little bit of extra money. So, woo!
Yeah, they've already done something for me.
Yeah.
And then I suppose that leads me on to like what I was going to say before, like what not to do, like lowballing them. If you know they want 28 grand, don't offer them 26 or 27. Why would you do that?
You'd be surprised how much it happens though. Well, the clients try to make it happen and we'll be like, you can't do that.
Actually, like, I don't know if you're in a restaurant and you've ordered like the 12 ounce sirloin and then bring you the 6 ounce. You're like, excuse me. And this is not what I ordered. This is not what we said that I would get in return for the money that I've paid.
Yeah.
Like, send it back, bring me what I asked for. That's essentially what a candidate should say to you. No, I'm not accepting that because it's not what I said I wanted. You've not listened. So then they're thinking, you don't care, I'm not valued, I'm not important, you don't really see the value in me, you've not listened to me, see you later.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good. I think the only time you could kind of look at it is, say, if you've advertised at like 25 to 30, you've got a candidate there who's interested and they've maybe said, look, I kind of want 30, 32. And they've gone through the whole interview process and you've wowed them that much that they want to work for you, and you know your top budget's only 30, and you speak to them and you're like your little clarifying of salary, like, we will probably only be able to go up to 30. Is that
as already discussed?
Yeah, as already discussed. Is that something that you will be happy with? And you've wowed them that much. They're like, yeah, I would take a salary job to work for you. But that's the only circumstance.
Yeah, because hopefully they have entered into that interview process knowing full well that the maximum they can get is the 30. So that's where their expectations are at. You wanted to offer them a little bit more. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
They aren't expecting it at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the only situation. Because then if you go, well, I'm going to offer you 26, you're like, no, sorry, I'm rejecting your offer because I wanted 28. And then you ring them back going, oh, actually, okay, we've decided to increase it. You've lost all kind of like impact.
Yeah. It's just, it means nothing at that point, doesn't it? You're like, it's a bit too little too late.
Yeah, it's left a sour taste. You've already made them feel those negative feelings, and people always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And it's not the best way to start off a new relationship.
It's not. It sets up like a bad precedent for it going forward, doesn't it? So
well, yeah, because they'll be thinking, if this is you in impressing them mode, wooing, sparkling, wanting them to join the business, what are they going to be like when you're old news and you've been there for 6 months?
Yeah. But like, do you know when companies do that, say they were going to offer 26, they've lowballed them, and then they put it up to 28. I'm just like, if you were able to do that, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Because you've lost that candidate now anyway. and you were able to go up to that. So just do it to save losing yourself the candidate, because you have the opportunity to do that. It's not like it's not in your budget if you've just then offered them 28.
Yeah, you knew what they wanted. You should have known what they wanted at the beginning. You've not offered them that. They've said no, and then probably the cost of what it would have cost you to give them the extra bit, what's that then cost you in time, having to go and find more candidates, interview more people, make more offers and mess them up. The cost of that, people are like, it costs. Someone said to me yesterday, it doesn't cost me anything to advertise myself and recruit on Indeed. I'm like, that's not factually accurate, because it costs you your time and where your time could be better suited. So it's not free. Your time isn't free.
No.
And it's finite time. You only have so much. You can't make more time, but you can make more money.
Yeah, very true.
So when we were looking at doing this, one tip in an entire podcast, like, is there enough information? We've been talking for half an hour.
Wow!
But this should show you what goes into the recruitment process. This is one stage of the recruitment process, and it's at the end. There's so many other elements before that, like your job description, setting your salary, your process, your adverts, your social media campaign, your headhunting and proactive outreach, screening candidates and reviewing CVs, organising and conducting your interviews, following up for your interviews, and then we get to this point. We could do a podcast on every single element. Easily.
Very easily.
And that's just us talking to you about it. That's not actually doing it. So if you're thinking, wow, there's a lot here, and this is just offering a job, give us a ring, because we can help. Even if you just want us to do this bit, like, we probably won't charge you, because it's so happy giving someone a job offer. But we can work with you to obviously make the whole process positive, so that you're going even further to maximising someone saying yes when you offer them the job. If you think it sounds like a lot and not sure if you can do it or navigate it yourselves, we will be delighted to support you. It is what we do, and it's what we love doing. And we're actually really good at it.
We actually are really good. We have a lot of processes in place that work. They are tried and tested processes like this one, that will make sure that you hire the right people the first time.
Oh, absolutely. That's just made me think about a post I did, when was it? Yesterday, I think, on LinkedIn. That people say, we keep hiring people, and so we've got no problems with recruitment, but they do keep leaving within the first 3 to 6 months. I'm like, that's a recruitment problem.
Yeah.
It's possibly a retention, employee engagement issue, onboarding issue, but it is a recruitment problem, because it's clear to me that you aren't hiring the right people if they're not staying with your business. There's something wrong somewhere. So it's either a recruitment problem. It could potentially be retention based as well, but it is a recruitment problem. So you work with us, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
I know, because it's interesting, isn't it, that something down the line in like 6 months' time, when someone has started, could relate all the way back to when you put your job advert out and how you did that.
Yeah, the language that you use and the values that you've talked about. Yeah, absolutely. And we're different to our traditional our competition in the traditional agency space. We don't charge a percentage of a salary to do your recruitment. We are as Emily put it in the promo video, we are better and less expensive. There's a lot more value add in our process, but we charge for time, so we're quite cost competitive in comparison to traditional agencies. We're more like an outsourced recruitment team. Anything that you would expect your own, if you had an employed recruitment team to do, that's how we can support you as Fresh. So drop us a message, go on the website, www.f4perspective-resourcing.co.uk, and we would be very excited and appreciative to help you.
Yeah, and I think it's important to mention as well that we can kind of get involved in any part of the recruitment process, can't we? Like, we do our full recruitment packages where we do the full set of recruitment for you. But if you just want certain parts doing, we can, because it is time-based, we can tailor it to suit any budget.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I went to see someone yesterday where I'm just spending some time with them, creating a process, getting their adverts written and their social media campaigns, telling them when and where to post it, and then I'm just going to leave it with them. And if they need my help further down the line, in terms of if they get a stampede of candidates and they've not got time to review them, the team can go in, filter, review, shortlist, screen. Or if they actually don't get anybody applying to their adverts, then we can go and proactively find people, but we can break it down or deliver the whole thing, as Vicky said. Very good point.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. What is left to say? If you've liked the podcast, please leave a review, follow us, tell people about it. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud.
Are we on Amazon?
Maybe on Amazon. Ask Alexa, she'll know. And tickets are available for our non-profit awards, the Freshies. We have an early bird offer on at the moment until the end of December. You can find more information on the page on our website, which tells you all about it.
Yay.
Is that it?
I think so. I mean, that's a lot. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Have an amazing weekend, and we will see you on the next podcast.
Bye.